This is how you can support your student using OneNote. The first key is that you have to have your student log into OneNote for you. Adults cannot have their own login to their students' OneNote notebooks. Your student can either share their login with you, or this is a great thing to do with your student. In each unit, there is a list of activities that we will do, as you can see on the left-hand side here. And you'll notice that most of the activities have a date associated with them. So you can see what we're doing on any specific day. If I click on this one from 1010, I can look through this student's work and see that they have filled out this table with how the different items reacted to different kinds of light. Then as I go down, I see that they've answered this question. I see that they've done part 2, and I've seen that they've made a diagram here. So I'm pretty clear that my student has done this assignment. I can go through and do this for any of these assignments to double check that my student is doing their work. If I look here on 1023, I see that they've watched this video. I don't know that they've watched it from looking, but I do see that they are putting in what they learned in the video. I see they're putting in some new ideas. But when I get down to here, I see that none of this has been done. And so now I might go to my student and say, okay, I see that you did this first part here. Why is none of this done? And that can really help me to get a sense of what they are and are not doing in class on a daily or weekly basis. As I said, the easiest way to access your students' OneNote notebook is to ask them what their login is or to do this with them. But for those parents who are concerned on a day-to-day basis as to whether your students are doing their work, you can simply look at each date and then see what they're doing. This is also really helpful when they're absent. Say they're absent on 1025. They can go into their notebook and click on 1025, and this is something they could do at home. Not everything can be done at home, but this is a reading. So then they can read this, and then there are some questions down here that they're answering. I can tell in this one that this student started the mainstream questions and then realized they wanted to do going further. And so jump down here to the going further questions, and those are not completely done. So again, I would say to that student, why aren't these finished? You need to get these done so that you have completed the whole activity. This is giving me a lot of insight into what my student is doing on a day-to-day basis.